second chance in the game.
How you guys doing? My name is DeVries. I'm here with Chief Pigskin today. I'm excited, honored to do this presentation. Talk about some answers within our wing T, and yeah, we'll get going here. So, a little bit about me. Again, my name is DeVries. I'm the head football coach at Roxana High School. Kind of my coaching background, you guys can see, I've been in a lot of different places. Kind of a couple of years here, a couple of years there. Started out in Bunker Hill, went to Alton. That's where I met Coach Albaugh. Went to Marquette for a season with Coach Nelson there. A year at Southwestern, 2 years up here with Nate at Champaign Central. 1 year as the offensive coordinator in 2015, which is really where a lot of these answers, I guess, came from. Nate and I did a lot of research then, figuring out what was going to be the best. How could we have answers when teams were stopping what we do? And got a job at Oakwood High School as the head coach. Was there for 2 years. Took a job back down home. I'm originally from the St. Louis area, and so I took a job at Roxana High School, and that's where we are now. So just a little background about me. What I really want to get into. So to start, our base. We talk about this is kind of what we do. So if you had to ask, what do you do? I think if you asked other teams, I think if you asked our coaches, I think if you asked our players, they're going to tell you that we're going to run sweep and trap. We are going to run buck sweep, and we are going to run trap. You guys can see on the screen there kind of what else we do. It's a lot. I just watched a presentation from Dan Casey with TFC, which is that track football consortium that Tony Holler puts on. And Dan Casey talked about kind of 3 different parts of your offense, right? So you can have plays, you can have formations, and you can have movements or motions. And what he said kind of resonated with me is that you can really probably do quite a bit with 2 of those 3. You can have a lot of formations and a lot of plays, but simple motions. Or you can have simple formations, lots of motions and plays, or whatever 2 out of the 3 you want. If you start getting into all 3 of them, where you have a lot of motions, you have a lot of plays, and you have a lot of formations, I think that you're going to get confused kids. And I agreed with him. That's what he had talked about, and I think it's true. So in the wing tee, we certainly have a lot of plays. And within those plays, what I want to get to today is kind of some of the answers that we come up with. Some are formational, some are tags, different things like that we're going to do to try to create advantages for us, because that's really what offensive football is all about, is being able to create an advantage. So you can see there, we're going to run sweep, we're going to run trap, we're going to run crisscross. We're the double handoff team. I know that within the wing tee community, I think it's probably one of the most controversial. You either love the double handoff or you hate it. We love it. I think it's the ultimate counterplay. We don't really run another counterplay. We run crisscross. And we run crisscross only to the right. We never run it left. And our kids just get really good at the handoff. And we haven't had any issues, knock on wood, so far. And so you can see there, we're going to run boot pass. We're going to run belly and belly pass, which belly to us is the weak side ISO, so a more traditional wing tee. We run down, which is kind of the G scheme. We'll run rocket and or jet, depending on the year. Typically not both, but we have done both. We'll run wedge, power pass, boss, which is our fullback toss, and then we'll run quick game, which we call 90s. But we've got a lot of stuff, and just putting this presentation together kind of made me realize, really go back and evaluate, what's worked, what hasn't, what's got to stay, what's got to go, and how can we develop, instead of adding more plays, how can we develop more answers? And I think that that's probably one of the best things with presenting is it really forces you to really think about what you're doing and is it working, and how can it be better? And so different ways that we develop answers, you'll see here. These are 2 main points I'm going to talk about. We'll do it with our alignment. So we'll take an X, we'll put him over the tight end. I think a lot of wing tee teams do this. We'll also take an X and a tackle over. So we'll have our tight end to the weak side, and we'll talk about why we do which, kind of what advantages it gives us, and then how we use these in our game plans. And then the second part we'll talk about is our influence stuff. So we'll do some false pulls in the wing tee. If we're going to run buck sweep and boot pass, teams are going to read guards. We're always expecting it, and we've always got to have answers built in. If their inside backers are reading guards, we've got to have a way to not let them read guards. Force them to do something else. Force them to adjust. We will talk about our influence blocks, a couple things that we do typically against defenses that are coached really well, or players who are so good that we know we can't block them. We'll try to fool them. If you can't block them, fool them. And then a couple of just different examples of eye candy, right? Trying to get a lot of movements, crisscrosses, motions in the backfield, get the secondary looking, and try to hit a home run over the top. So alignment-wise for us, you can see there, I put our base offense, we're going to have a tight end, we're going to have a split. We're typically tight end left and split right, but we'll mix that up a little bit. Traditional wing T backfields or double wing. This past season, 21, we were traditional wing T, right? We were 100, 900 backfields for the wing T guys out there. Next year, we'll go back to a double wing set. The reason we do that is we're going to go double wing if I feel like we have two kids that can run the ball, if they're both running back type kids. We'll go, this year we had really a fullback and we had a halfback, and then our wing was more of probably a receiver, blocker, counter kid. And so we were never going to run buck sweep with him. He ran crisscross and he caught the football. And so that's what we asked of that kid. And so this year we were more traditional. Like I said, next year I think we'll have three backs, so we'll go to more of a double wing set. But again, within these sets, when we want to change, right, we're going to be 85, 90%. We're going to be tight, split away, two wings or wing T backfield. One way we'll do it is with our X over. So simple enough. I know a lot of wing T guys do this. Spread guys are even doing it now, where they're taking two guys, they're putting them both on the line of scrimmage, split out. We'll take our X and we'll move them over the tight end. And so a couple things here, if you look at this clip, this is back from, I want to say this might be from my first year back in 2018. I think this is 2018. So this is back to my first year at Roxana. This is about halfway through the season. And what we were doing then, if you go back and watch the clip, we were huddling. And then this is something we've actually gotten away from recently that we probably need to get back to, because you watch here, we're playing the school and we break the huddle, all of us together. And our goal is to hike the ball quickly. So we come out and you can see 24, when you're looking at this clip right here, this guy right here, if you go back, he's pointing and he's doing this, and watch, he's trying to get his guys lined up. He's pointing right. He's got this. And then bam, we're getting ready. So our field is to our offense's right. And if you look here, if you're looking at their defense right now, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys into the boundary to our weak side. And so all we have over there is a guard, a tackle, and a wing, and they've got 6 defenders over to that side for whatever reason. So we've got huge numbers here on this play side, right? You've got 3 linemen, a linebacker, and a corner, and that's really all they've got set up to our strength. And so when we go here, we're just running rocket. But if you look, we've got numbers. And here's a hat. Oh yeah, they had 2 over the X. You get a block downfield and you're able to go. But really, it's all just created because of numbers. So they weren't going to adjust. We were going to put X over. They were going to double team our X. So if you can see right here on the far left side of the screen, they got a corner head up and they got a safety over the top. So our X is taking 2 guys out. They've only got inside the box here, there's only 3 guys on this side. And we've got guard, tackle, tight end, wing. So it's just numbers, right? And when you're good, the numbers give you an advantage and you win. And when you're not as good, they give you an advantage and hopefully you can execute and get first downs. So same thing, this is the next year. So this is this is 2019, we're playing against another school in our league. So we get set up here. Again, we've got X over. So we know they've got a safety. If you go back, we go back here. They're going to play a safety at 15 to 20 yards, always. This kid's always going to be deep. He's going to be way over the middle. We're not really concerned about him in the run game, because if he's making the tackle, we're getting 10. All right, they got a corner out here on our X. But when we go X over, they don't shift. So they keep this kid at nose. They got a D lineman here. They got a D lineman here. They got an outside backer here. They got a corner here. And they've got a backer here. And so they got the nose that's right in the middle. And then they got 5 guys to our weak side. And so if you go back here to our end zone shot, they've got 5 guys lined up to our center's right. And all we have to our center's right is a guard and a tackle. So we've immediately got numbers, right? We're going to come out, we're going to run rocket, and we're going to have numbers. And you can see it better from this angle here. But we just come out, you get rocket motion, and look at the numbers. None of these guys are going to make this play. There's no chance. It doesn't matter if you run rocket or jet. None of these guys are making a play on this. When you get that ball tossed out there to the tight end side, there's no way these kids are making the tackle. We get a piece, we get a peel back, he gets a piece, They call this holding penalty, which was no good, but we score, right? I mean, you get numbers like this out here. We were going to crack block it, but once you touch him, he's going to take him, so the wing's going to take him, so the X peels off. X gets up the field, does a good job getting a piece of the corner, wing back gets a piece, and that safety can't run him. Not going to catch him down. He's 25 yards away at the start. So it's just about getting number advantages with us, okay? So again, this was a really, really well-coached team. And so what we did here is we put X over. This is a 3-3 stack type team. So they're always going to be a 3 stack. And if you can see here, it's not real easy, but you've got a lineman, backer, you've got a nose in here, you got a backer, you got a lineman here, you got a backer. And what they ended up doing was they ended up putting, they ran it almost like a 53 against us. But what we were able to do here is you're able to get the rocket motion going. You can see we got rocket motion, so we're able to pull these guys, but we're able to get inside of this and run our down play. So we get our rocket motion. As soon as we get rocket motion, this D end is going to expand. This backer's scraping over the top to try to stop rocket, and we're able to get a hat on a hat. We get a below average. Should have kicked him out with the wrong shoulder here, but he's able to get enough of a piece, and our fullback's able to get through to the second level, right? You got a backer chasing him, and we'll take that. So now what's going to happen when they do adjust, right? That's the next thing we're looking for. All right, hey, we're going to put X over. If they don't adjust, we got numbers and we got to attack it. But what if they do? So the end zone shot here does a pretty good job. This team ended up being, I want to say, a semifinal team this year in this game. I mean, they had so many kids. They could have put their 7th and 8th receivers on the field, and I don't think we could have defended them this year. They were really good. But you can see here, 31, right back here at safety, he's getting these guys lined up, and he's telling them, look, you got to get over. This is the tight end. Here's the wing. They got the X all the way out, and all these guys are into the boundary. So we put our X over into the boundary. But look at them. They're moving. They're adjusting. Here we go. Right when we snap the ball, 11's going, 11's going, 11's going. He's going, he's going. He's crossed the center. And now what they've got on this side is now they've got some numbers, right? So they've got these 2 inside linebackers. If you go back here, they really wanted to stop the fullback. So they were playing games inside. So they were playing games kind of with these 4 kids, right? The 2 defensive linemen are slanting and looping. Those 2 stack backers are filling the opposite gaps, trying to take away our inside run game with our fullback. And so what it did by us going X over to the boundary, it gave us some numbers advantage. Because now this kid, the player that just shifted across the formation here, he's eyes on our tight end, but he's out of the play. So this kid's out of the play, so we don't have to worry about blocking him. So what we're going to be able to do here, we come out and we can run toss to the short side. So now the only kid left, we're going to be able to get a hat on a hat here. Tackle does a good job getting to the end. Our lead wing back comes out here. He's able to get a piece. And the only kid that can make the play is this linebacker who's starting a yard from the line of scrimmage trying to come out and make a play on this. He gets a piece, we get a hat, and we're off and gone. And we're able to score, right? I mean, it's just trying to create advantages, and it's, okay, we're going to put X over. Now what are we going to do? When they do adjust, what do we have back to the weak side? So it's just answers. It's making them line up correctly, because when they don't, you can take advantages of it like you saw at the beginning. And when they are going to get lined up correctly, what can we do to try to hurt them to the weak side? And it's just developing answers within. So that is us covering up the tight end. So we'll take the tight end, put him on the right, put the X over him, cover him up. We call that X over. Then we'll go X and tackle over. So if you look here, this is our playoff game from 2019. Now what we've got is, this is our tight end. So we're going to have a tight end here. We're going to have a guard here, center, guard, tackle, and then this is going to be my other tackle. So say we want to run, in this case you can see at the top, we're running buck sweep. Well, my tight end did a really good job for us that year, but my tackle's 310 pounds, and if I'm going to look to down block, or actually in this case we're double teaming this kid right here, I'd rather double team him with the kid that's 310 than this tight end that's 200. And so we go X over, and you can see they don't shift their defense. They haven't adjusted at all. So if you go back to this shot here, they've got a middle backer, but they still have, they got 2 safeties. We knew they were going to play with 2 safeties against us. They got a backer, but they still have 4 or 5 guys to the weak side against us. And so what we're able to do is we're able to get a tackle over here. So now instead of double teaming this defensive end, like I said, with our tight end, we're able to double team him with the tackle. But they didn't adjust, so they didn't move anybody. They lined up the same when we went tackle over, when we went X over. They're a 4-3 team. They were going to play 4-3. Their safeties are going to come down when they get motion. But what we're able to do here is we're able to get a pretty decent, and this isn't great, but you're able to get enough of a piece here of a double team. Needed to get our hips in the hole and get him pinned, but you're able to get a guard coming out here. You're able to get a guard leading through here, and we're able to get a good play for us. With just the safety in the corner being able to come down and make the tackle. If safeties and corners are making tackles on buck sweep, we're in pretty good shape. Now, we want to have answers, right? We want to have a way. How can we get those guys out? X over. But we want to be able to get our tackle out there. So this is a big game for us. Back in 2019, we had to win. This was week 7. At this point, we were 2-4. So we had to win the last 3 games to be able to get in the playoffs. And this is a team that this is the same team from the year before. So we had a pretty good idea how they were going to line up. But if you look here, they're set right now. Well, on this side over here, we've got a tackle and an X out here. So on the weak side, we've got a guard, and we've got a tight end, and we've got a wing. And they got a nose set up here. But on the weak side, they've got about 5 guys lined up over here to the weak side. And so what it does is it gives us great numbers over here to the strength. Okay, so we're looking at this team going, all right, we can go X over, which we had done this year and the year before. But if we go tackle over, they're not going to shift either. So we get down to the goal line, and we knew they were going to bring a lot of pressure inside. So we wanted to go power instead of buck sweep. So we're just looking to go down, down. We're looking to go down here. This guy, we're going to skip this end. We're looking to get down here and pin this guy, and we'll kick the end with the fullback. So you get here. And what you get here is we get a really good kick. Fullback does a great job, heads up the field right there. Only issue I see, you can see the wall we've got built, right? So now, again, instead of us having a tight end over there, who's good, right? Tight end does a great job for us. We've got a 310-pound tackle instead of a 200-pound tight end down blocking on this kid. The corner's way out here because we took him out of the play with our X by going X over. So what we've got is we've got this fullback with a pretty good kick out right here. If I get this guard, hug the butt here, eyes inside, if he pins this off, this is a walk-in touchdown. Instead, for whatever reason, my guard runs outside to hit the corner who's 17 yards outside the play. But we're able to make a cut up the field, make one guy miss, and we're able to score. But really, what set this up for us was, first of all, getting this corner out of the play. This kid did not have to be blocked, right? A guard went out there. This kid's never making the play on power. You run power off tackle, that kid's never making the play. I don't care where his eyes are. Our tackle now is able to get a little bit more movement here than our tight end. So by going tackle and X over, we're able to create some movement. This was actually the same year. This is 2019. We felt good about this game. We were older. We were more experienced in this team. But I wanted to get some stuff on film for the next teams to watch. And so what you'll see here is this is kind of a sequence of plays. These are our first, I think, 4 plays of the game. And again, this team was young, so they had some struggles this year, but we're able to go. So what we've got here is we're set up. So we've got our tackle over. We actually put our backup receiver in the game at X, and our starting X was right here at the weak side tight end. We just stuck him there knowing we're never going to run to the weak side because we have an advantage to the strength. We were just bigger and stronger than these guys at the time. So you can see here we're going to go. We got buck sweep, first play of the game. We come out in our XO or tackle over. We get buck sweep. Tackle doesn't know what he's doing, but you get a hat on a hat. And when you're bigger and stronger, you look like a really smart coach, right? But kind of show you the progression on how we set this up. Again, same formation. This is our second play of the game. We still have our X sitting right here at the weak side. We know we're not going to run at him, so he doesn't have to block anybody. We've got our tackle over, so when we're running sweep and power, he's getting down, so we're able to down block with a bigger, stronger kid. So we get power, second play of the game. Fullback goes, guard pulls up way too soon. I don't know why he was going inside that quick. What we should have had was this. We should have had a down block here. Should have had a down block here. He should have gotten probably down all the way inside. Should have had a fullback kick here and a guard wrapping here. Ended up not working out this way. He went down. 24 went here. For some reason, my backside guard pulled up in like A gap. We don't stay with the block. We end up making a kid miss. We get a decent play. But again, it's all about setting this up, okay? So we've got this set up. Third play of the game. So we scored on the first 2 plays. Third play of the game, we come out. Same formation. Toss. We start running. And what I want you to notice here is who's going to make the play. Because now what you're starting to see, this is 42 coming across. The kid that pushes him out of bounds right there. Look where that kid started. This is 42 starting right here. All right, so he's their deep safety. He's the guy keeping everything in front, right? So now he has seen us take buck sweep and score. We've taken power and we've scored. Now we take in ball, we call it boss, B-toss, and we've gotten 12 yards on that. So now what we want to come back with is, I don't believe that this is the only kid that can play deep, right? Here's a corner, which is fine, but there's no way this corner can defend my kid. And so now what we get, this is the first play of the next drive. We come back out. So now we get the same set, right? Here's a corner. 88 is a corner for them. He has got to, I guess, be manned up on this kid. I don't see how this works. So we get the same motion, right? Boom. Right now to this safety, you can see him. He's already starting to creep. So this safety is starting to creep over the top because he's already seen us run toss. He's seen us run power. He's seen us run sweep. And now what we're able to do is put a little sneak play in for that week and get that tight end vertical with nobody around him. So it's not just about getting into these formations and going, hey, let's see what happens. It's how are they going to line up? What if they adjust? What if they don't adjust? What are they going to do if I put an X over the tight end? What are they going to do if I put an X over and a tackle over? Are they going to adjust? And if they do, what do we have to come back to the weak side? If they start getting nosy, how do we come back and attack the weak side? That's probably one of the biggest things for us, is trying to, within our system, have answers for everything. You've got to know, hey, if they do this, we're going to have to do this. It's all the if-thens that we want to get into. So that was some, I guess, just base alignment stuff. It's really just how can we align to try to give us an advantage, and then how can we have answers if it changes, right? If they're going to overplay it, how do we come back to the weak side? If they're not going to, let's just keep attacking it. If we get them outflanked, let's use it. So next set of answers, and this is a lot more thought process, right? This is a lot more, here is a lot of game planning. When we're game planning, it's hard for us to know what they're going to do to a team that's going to go tackle over. Hard for us to know what are they going to do when that team puts the X over the tight end, other than previous year's film, because everybody runs spread. And so we get all these films from these different teams, and I could tell you exactly what they're going to do if you're in 3-by-1. I can tell you what they're going to do if we line up in 2-by-2, but when we go tackle over, I have no idea where they're going to line up. None of us do. So we try to get it figured out. So that's more of an in-game. We want to get into these sets, utilize our huddle sideline, and figure out how we can attack them. Next thing, this is more game planning. So these are our influence plays. And so what we're going to do with our influence stuff is we're going to influence in a couple different ways, right? We're going to false pull, right? If you're going to play whatever defense, you're likely to have guys reading guards. You're either reading fullback or guards. We get a little bit of both. But if you're going to read guards, we have to have a way to get your backers out of there without having to block them. Because if we can influence somebody and make them go the wrong direction, that's just as good as blocking them, except it's easier. They're just out of the way. So you don't have to worry about missing. So we're going to talk about false pulls. We'll pull guys opposite, and then how we utilize our false pulls to set things up. We'll talk about influence blocks. So the difference here, influence is going to be probably more tackles, tight ends, wings. Those guys will be influencing. Guards will be the ones doing the false pulling. And then just some eye candy, some different things where you get motion going one way, the other way, and then try to hit a big play behind them. Just influencing the eyes, I guess, of the secondary, really. Probably safeties more so than corners even. So this is back again. This is probably week 8, 2019. And so what we had is we knew they're a 5-2 team. They're a 52. The corner's here. They got another corner out. So we go tackle over. So we've got a tackle, guard, and then here's our center. And so this is, we've done a lot of this leading up to this game, right? So they've already seen a lot of our tackle over stuff. They know that when we do our tackle over stuff, we're going to run sweep, we're going to run power, we might run toss to the weak side, but they're ready for it. They're ready for all those things. And so what we're going to do, their two inside backers here, these guys are going to be reading guards. They're going to go with our guards wherever they go. I know that they got two safeties. So they got this kid here, safety, 5 is a safety, 4 is a safety. They're going to run a little invert system where when they get motion, so in this case right here, we get this guy coming in motion like we're running buck sweep, which is what we've shown them on film, right? We've shown them sweep, power, B-toss, all these different plays. When we get motion, man, this kid is coming down hard to try to take away sweep and power. This kid's job is to get back and play the deep third. So that's what they're looking to do. In this case, I think number 5 was actually manned up. So we're going to give this motion here. So right now we've got motion going. We've got a guard pulling. We've got a down block coming here. We've got a down block coming here. We've got a guard pulling out. So to, everything we've got, right? Fullbacks coming through. Fullbacks coming out here. We've got the motion guy coming here. And so everything right now is going to look like sweep. My right guard doesn't pull. He's supposed to be pulling left. I don't know why he didn't. He's supposed to be pulling left. And what you've got is you've got a play that looks just like buck sweep coming. You got guards coming. And what we're able to do is, with the understanding, okay, we've run a lot of tackle over these last couple weeks. Every time we go tackle over, they've got sweep and power. And we're going to attack them with sweep and power. This kid is going to be aggressive. This kid's going to come down. We're going to take our fastest kid. This kid right here is not a kid that has ever played wing. Never lined up there, has no idea what to do. We had to teach him how to stand. He had no idea what he was doing there. And I said, you're the fastest kid we have. You're going to run just like this, as fast as you possibly can, and the quarterback's going to throw it to you. And so what we've got is you've got motion coming from the back. You've got guard, should be guards. In this case, it was just guard pulling. So it's looking just like buck sweep. We're able to seal the edge, and we're able to get this kid right down the middle of the field untouched, because you're able to create some confusion. You're able to pull the guards. You got the motion going. Now you can get a kid vertical. Safety can't go there, and there's nobody around him. And you get a touchdown. That was the first play of the game. So we started the game, week 8, on the road, first play of the game, and they're looking around going, you're supposed to have this and you're supposed to go there. So that was week 8. So this is first round of the playoffs. Same exact setup, right? So I knew what films these guys had, right? We had exchanged films. They did not take the week 8 game. And so here's what we had against these guys. These guys were really good. They had about 25 seniors, I want to say. So they're in a similar set, right? They're in a 5-2. They've got 36 as safety here. 25, coach's son. He had twin boys on the team. When I found out that the quarterback and the free safety were his sons, twin boys as seniors with about 23 other seniors, thought we might be in trouble. We were. So we get the same setup here, though, right? So we're going to get this motion, come in motion here. We're going to have guard pull. We're going to have guard pull. And we're going to get down block. But what we're going to do when we get this, we know 25's coming, man. 25 is coming. He's coming down hard. He's going to stop sweep. They got to stop buck sweep, right? Sweep and trap. Those are the plays. They got to stop him. So he's going to come down hard. He's going to stop sweep. And what we're able to do is we're able to get this wing and get him vertical. This, unfortunately, is the kid that normally played wing for us. And we hadn't repped him enough here. So the day of the game, the kid that had played there before, the 2 weeks before, didn't show up. It was a whole mess. But we're able to really get the same setup. So if you're able to look here from the end zone shot that we got, again, guard pulls. Both guards should be pulling, but we're not. But we're still getting this motion. We're getting the motion from the back. We're getting the guard pulling out. We're getting a base block here. We're getting a base block here. But to this guy right here, this looks like buck sweep. His play side guard's pulling. This kid's blocking. This kid looks like he's coming down, and we're able to go. So now what happens? 25, shuffle. He's coming to stop sweep. 36, his eyes are in the backfield. He's just watching back here, looking for someone coming out, and we're able to get straight down the middle to a wide open kid, and this is what happens when we have our wing back instead of our receiver trying to catch the ball. Ball hits the ground. But if you watch it here from the sideline, you're able to get a lot of these guys going. So the backers are shuffling. They're taking their steps. They're looking at the guards. 25 here. He's only playing at about 6 yards. He's their safety. He's got to come down to try to stop sweep. His eyes are on my tight end right now. So he's watching the tight end here, and we're able to get that wing right down the middle of the field. And again, the result, sometimes it's your day, sometimes it's not, I guess. We didn't rep the kid there very much because we didn't think he was going to be in that position. We learned that. So this is this year. Similar play. So what we're looking at now we're in, again, a more traditional wing T set. I think we can see this one from the end zone as well. So what we were getting was a lot of this. And so what we were getting is anytime that we went buck sweep action, the corner is kind of a secondary edge setter, but we knew the corner was really eyes on our wing. He was going to be manned up on the wing. This right here the safety, he was the guy coming down, man, and he was coming down and killing us on sweep. He was a kind of a little +1 for him, and we went buck sweep. So he was able to come down. He was reading our tight end here. So anytime the tight end would go to block, or if the tight end would run a drag, the safety was going to chase him. So we went sucker, get the linebackers going. We got here. So if you watch the play, we'll get both guards. Both guards are pulling out. That play looks like buck sweep. And what we're able to do to get the edge sealed, we're able to make it look just like buck sweep. And so on sucker here, boot pass sucker, we're going to go down here. This guard's gone. This guard's gone. This halfback is gone. And then what we're able to do is get our fullback down here to seal the edge. All right, so what we're trying to get is we're trying to get our wing. Safety's going to come down because he's seeing 2 guards in fast flow action. He's going to come down. We're going to try to get this wing vertical. That corner is going to have a hard time manning him up with that kind of leverage. So what we're able to do is we're able to get that wing out into the middle of the field. Quarterback throws a pretty good ball, and we're able to get a big play against a good team. But it was a big play for us at that point. We're able to go down, score, and make this a competitive game. So then, once teams have seen this, right? So we've run lots of this. So every week, right? We'll pull this way. We'll false pull and we'll run boot. We'll pull guards at the play and we'll run boot pass. It's all about false pulling the guards. And so now what we've got is, here's a team we're getting ready to go. This is our rival, I guess. Game didn't go very well for us, but we're here. We get set up, and we've got the same play, right? So we've got sucker. So we've got boot pass sucker called. Guards are going to false pull. But now what they've seen is, hey, anytime these guards false pull, it doesn't matter. Leave them. You know, once you recognize pass, it's pass. And so our quarterback boots out. But what we're able to get is we're able to get a little throwback screen set up because we've got 2 guards out in front. So now we're throwing the ball back. You've got a guard out in front here. This guard should be sprinting to go make this block right here. Instead, he peels back. But we're still able to get a good play out of it. But just kind of a little answer out of that sucker, right? If they see, hey, they're pulling guards, they're going to quit reading your guards, they're going to start reading the fullback. They start reading the fullback, they're going to attack that. And so when they start attacking your fullback, you could still pull those guards out, but just turn and flick a little screen out there to them. So you can see it here from the sideline shot. Guards are going to pull opposite. We're going to run boot pass right. Guards pull opposite. We get all the eyes, right? So all these guys here, all the eyes are inside. Flip it out there, you get a couple guards out in front, and you're able to get a pretty big play. Unfortunately, at the time, I think it was like 4th and 40, so not quite big enough. So that's false pulls, right? So we're going to run boot pass right, we're going to pull the guards left, or vice versa. Influence blocks, this is probably something that we do that I don't know how often we really utilize it. It really works against teams, I would say, that are really, really well coached. And so what we're looking to do when we influence block is exactly that. We're looking to make you think, make your player think that we're going to do something, run a certain play, and then run inside. So this is back to the year 1. I don't have so we drew this up on the sideline. And so this year we were really big rocket and down. So they had a defensive end right here, ended up being a pretty good D2 player, and we couldn't block him. If we tried to reach block him, he would string it out and he'd make the play. If we went down, he would squeeze and he'd make the play on down. We just couldn't do it. So what we started doing was, we called this, well, at the time it was belly, now it's down flu. So we're going to influence. So what we're going to do when we influence is we're going to get our rocket motion coming here, like we're running rocket. But now if we're going to run down, we're going to run it like everybody else, right? He's going to be down, he's going to be down, he's going to be down to backer. Guard is going to pull, and he's going to kick. Problem is, we couldn't kick this kid out. He would squeeze that down block, and he would just blow it up. We also couldn't reach block him if we went rocket. So we would try to race block him. He would just string it out. He was just better. He was too good for us. So we're going to get this rocket motion, and instead what we're going to do is we're going to race block with our Z. We're going to race block with our tight end. And as a result, you can see they got 2 guys sitting out here, so they're going to come with us. As soon as this tight end starts to race, this kid is going to start to expand. And so what we're doing is, instead of blocking him, we're going to influence him. We're going to not block him. That was really our only chance. Now, like I said, we legitimately drew this up on the whiteboard on the sideline. Nobody had a clue what was going on except for these 4 guys right here. Everybody else just thought that this was belly at the time. So what we're looking to get is we're looking to get our tackle comes down on this, just like it always is. But now the guard, instead of pulling to kick out, the guard is going to pull, and he's just going to lead up onto this backer. We're hoping to be able to take this kid out. This kid's already out. This kid's already out. It'd be great if we could take this kid out. But like I said, if a safety at 12 yards is making a play on down, you're in pretty good shape. So you get this here. We get those races. So you can see we got the rocket motion going. We've got these two. We've got our wing and our tight end both race blocking. Watch the defensive end here. Watch this kid expand. You see him running with him? He's running with him. We've blocked him. We can't block him because we're not good enough. But by doing this, he is gone. This kid is gone. This kid is gone. We've taken 3 guys with our 3 guys. That is just as good as a block for us. So center actually does a pretty good job getting this backer. Guard keeps going out to kick out. He was confused. We drew it up on the sideline. He didn't have a clue what was going on. But ideally what would happen here is, if I can slow this down here, tackle went down. Tackle did an excellent job pinning right here. 50's the guard. He should be, boom, leading up right there. And he's going to get a piece of that. All 3 of those guys outside are out of the play. All we have now is, the only chance they've got is they got a free safety on the fullback. We'll take it. All right, center does a pretty good job getting a piece, and we're able to get a good play out of it. Now we're doing it this year. So we went and played, this is Breeze Central. They were 4A quarterfinal team this year. I went into the game, and I watched their film, and they won the conference. They were undefeated in the league, and I knew that there was not a chance in the world that we were going to block these guys. There just was no chance. And this is my sophomore tight end. This is my junior wingback here, who's about, I don't know, had a couple different juniors that played that spot. They were about 140 pounds. This is like a 180-pound tight end who, can bench press like 125 pounds because he's really a basketball player, but he's the best we got. And I told them, I said, there's absolutely no chance that you're ever going to be able to block these 2 kids. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to not block them. We're going to block them by not blocking them. And so what we're able to do here, we're getting this kid wide, right? We're getting the jet motion, or the rocket motion. That's going to be one of the keys for us on this, is getting that motion, getting that horizontal stretch that's really going to allow us to show like we're going wide. And then 5's going to come, man, he's going to, boom, get out here. Tight end, boom, he's going to come, he's going to get out here. And what you'll see is we actually end up influencing a lot of these guys. So these 2 guys, so you can see it here, we're going to go, and boom, he goes. Now, he doesn't expand much. You can see this a lot better from the, we don't have the end zone, do we? This defensive end isn't going to expand much, but down is a play that's going to hit so fast that he doesn't have to expand much. If he hesitates, when my tight end steps out, this kid is so well coached, I know he's going to get hands on the shoulder and he's going to get eyes inside. But by the time we go, so you can see here, step, he's going, right? Kid's hands on, hands on. Tackle got a good down block. Here comes my guard. My guard's going to lead through onto this backer here. All we had to do was get hands on this kid. Just that hesitation of him having to take a half a step out with my tight end allowed us to get there, right? We guard whiffs, we get 5 yards, 6 yards, which is a good play for us against these guys. So again, what we're seeing is this. We want to get, and now by us doing this, you can see, by us race blocking, look what's happening. This D end is okay, but this outside backer is coming. This guy's coming. We see this guy starting to come down too, right? He ends up getting in and making the play because he's a good player. But we're able to influence these guys, and we don't have to worry about blocking this defensive end who we can't block. We're just going to step outside. Fullback's going to run right underneath. Same play, same game. I wish I had an end zone. I don't know why I don't. Same play, same game. So here, again, what are we going to get? All right, well, this kid's going to come. When this kid comes, this guy right here is really watching that. He's going to boom. He's coming out. This guy's going to come, right? What's going to happen? This guy's coming out. This defensive end, you can see it really well right here. This defensive end right here, he is going to get hands on my tight end's shoulder, but just by expanding, if you watch this, by a half a man, he's going to expand, boom, half a man. Look, he's taking a half a step out. This play is going to hit tight, and it's going to hit fast. So you've got your tackle right here. My tackle's got doing a pretty good job on his down block, a little high. Guard, pulling around. He's going to come. He's going to take care of the backer. With the motion, we were actually able to take a couple other guys. So if you look, this kid almost gets in on the play. Watch this defensive end. I'll slow this one down for you. But watch this defensive end here. He is coached to get hands on the tight end. With the tight end expands, you're going to get hands on. He is going to get hands on anybody. I watched a bunch of films on these guys. Every game, this kid is hands on. Boom, hands on. Now he sees the ball. He knows it's going to the fullback, but he can't make the play because it hits fast. That's the beauty of being under center, right? That play is going to hit quick. So he's coming here. We're able to get underneath, and we've got all these guys. This kid's running out. This kid's running out. This kid's out of the play. We got all these guys scraping. We're able to get inside. Worst case scenario, this kid makes a tackle. Now, fullback in this case does a pretty good job. I'm actually going to show this whole play. We get a little chip there. Fullback comes down the sideline, and I like the way this is how wing T fullback should finish runs. Boom. I think that was an all-state kid for him, too. He's a pretty good player. He scored about 5 touchdowns against us, but we got a good shot on him there. But that's how, just trying to figure out a way, okay, what are we going to do, all right? So what are we going to do if we can't block you? Because, again, we can't block these guys, okay? So now we're into the third quarter. So we went in. They made the adjustment, right? They're really well coached. We know this. They're in the quarterfinals for a reason. So now what they're going to do is this, okay, so they're going to take this kid, and they're not going to worry about reading. They're going to knife this kid down, okay? So no matter what, they're going to knife this kid. So we're going to reach here. We're going to reach here. Tackle's still going to go down. But now what we're going to do is we're going to tell the guard, hey, now you're just going to kick this kid, right? Because even if he comes down and squeezes, we could still get him kicked, right? He's still in a 6. We call a head up on a tight end. We're going to call that a 6. He's still in a 6. He's still able to get this done. And by still influencing here, this kid is still widening. Oops. This kid's still scraping over the top. And now what we're trying to do is our concern now with us kicking out this defensive end, this is an adjustment we made at halftime, was, well, this middle backer right here is unblocked. I think he's probably going to scrape over the top, and I think we're going to be able to cut it back. So we told the fullback, you may have to make this kid miss, which is hard to do against a really good team. But we're looking to get into here, our fullbacks line now, we're looking to probably get into here and then possibly bend this back. All right. The other answer we had was our center's got a nose on him, so the center's taking care of the nose, but our tackle, in this case, so center's going to take care of the nose. Our guard should be able to get down and get this backer cut off. If we can get to this backer, bonus, right? Go get a backer. Guard, you got to get there. You might be the home run block that we need. You got to get there, okay? This tackle here, we're just going to scoop and cut this D end off. And you can see here what happens is guard does a great job. So we get a pull, we get a kick, and the guard gets to that backer. So what we're able to get here is, like I said, just by us still doing a little influence here, this kid's gone, this kid's gone. We're going to get 2 for 2. We'll take those odds, right? Take the numbers. We're going to kick this kid out. My tight end gets his hands on him, which he's not supposed to do. And this is a kid right here. We got to make the middle backer miss. Worst case scenario, this kid's not flying downhill to make this play. So worst case scenario, he makes a tackle and we're at 3 to 4 yards, which that's about as good as it gets for us, okay? So my guard here, you can see this is my right guard right here. Pretty good player for us. He's able to do a great job of getting here and getting a piece. And once we get through, he gets a piece, and we're able to go score. Again, against a team that, they gave us fits, man. They scored about 100 points on us, I think. So, down flu. We call it flu, right? We're just going to influence. We're going to take tight end in our wing, and we're going to go with them. So, other plays that we try to do this on, we're going to try to, we are a double handoff team. Like I said, we're crisscross. We are going to run crisscross, double handoff. So the way we're going to block crisscross, this number 20 they got up here to the field, he's another one of their 20 seniors or whatever they had. I don't know where that kid's going, but here's what I can tell you. He can play. So this kid we knew was going to give us fits. So what we're looking to do on crisscross, guard's going to come down, tackle's going to come down. We're going to pull tackle tight end. Tackle's going to come kick. Tight end is going to pull lead, okay? Fullback is fast flow here. This back is fast flow here. So we're usually able to at least manipulate these backers to step this direction. Problem we had was we knew just from watching it that as soon as, get rid of those circles, as soon as this tackle goes down, this D end is, again, we watched a lot of film, he's going to squeeze flat and he's going to blow this up. He's going to spill it, he's going to wrong arm it, he's going to pry up inside, and he's going to spill our freaking tackle, and then we're trying to bounce this outside where this kid's going to be sitting, and it's not going to work for us. So what we decided to do is try to influence this kid. Again, we can't block 20. Right? We can't base block him because he's going to be better than us. We can't go down and skip him and kick him because he's going to squeeze and spill it. And we know that he's so well coached that he's going to do these things right. So we're going to take our tackle here and we're going to reach block. We're going to run outside. And when he runs outside, I believe 20 is going to run outside with him. So what we're going to do is now, instead, there is no kick out block now. So now we've got guard coming down here, center's coming down, right? This guard's going back. Tackle is going to pull, and the tackle is going to look to lead. Tight end is going to follow the tackle. Tight end is going to look to lead as well. So you can see here, boom, right at the top of the screen. As soon as this tackle, this guy is not reading the backfield, this DN, not reading the backfield. He's not looking to see where the ball's going. He is reading that tackle. Tackle reaches, boy, he is going with him. And bam, we're able to get him out, get him out, get him out. Boom, we got two guys coming through. First tackle comes through, fits on the linebacker. And now I've got this, right? Fullback was going, so we got an inside backer going here. We got a backer here. They're out of the play. We got a tight end comes, and we're able to get into the secondary basically untouched. And we're able to get a big play. Again, we can't block, like I said. Our issue is we can't block this end. There's nothing that we're going to do that's going to allow us. We can't base block this kid. We can't kick him out because he's going to spill it. He's very, very well coached, and we know that on film. So what we're going to do is we're just going to try to influence him. Go out there. He's going to go with you. When I told the kids we were going to do this, I'll warn you now, if you go to any influence stuff, when you first tell your kids, they're going to look at you like you're nuts. They looked at me and they were like, so who's going to block him? I said, nobody. And they looked at me and they go, our fullback's about to get killed. That was on down flu. But it worked, and they saw it, and it was good to see. So here, same concept. Now you get to the play side, okay? So, again, this kid right here, we know this kid. He's going to be well coached. He's going to do his job. He is looking at the tackle. He's not looking at the backfield. He doesn't know what's happening. We're going to take our tackle. We're going to reach him. This kid's going to expand, and we're going to get tackle coming and going. We're going to get tight end coming and going through. So boom, we step out. He steps out with us right away. Bam, bam. We get a kick. We get the double handoff. Tight ends up. Again, this kid peels back in. This is still that defensive end. He does a pretty good job peeling back in here. We had fooled him once or twice already, so he was about done. But you can watch it full speed here. 20 expands, but man, his eyes are inside. And when he sees it coming, he's peeling back in. But it's still 8 yards for us. And 8 yards for us is a really good play. Last thing, eye candy. Again, this is just trying to create some motion this way and some movement this way. Get the DB's eyes looking and getting to try to hit them. You know, our sucker stuff that we do with the false pulling guards is kind of like that. Getting those safeties' eyes in there. If we're going to run buck sweep, buck sweep, buck sweep, let's get something that looks just like buck sweep and then try to get a vertical shot out of it. And so what you see here, this is the same game actually. They got a safety. I don't know why. I don't have the end zone film from this one. But they got a safety, not this kid here. He's out of the screen. I believe, yeah, so the safety, they got another safety coming out here. And, man, this kid comes down and he fills. When this kid comes down, buddy, he is coming down and he is going to fill. This kid likes making tackles. He's a safety, but, man, he may as well be a linebacker for them. So what we're able to get here is we're down the goal line, and we're able to get rocket reverse pass. You can see it up there at the top. So we're able to run a little rocket action in. We're fortunate that our X throws with his left hand. Otherwise, you'd have to flip everything. So you get a rocket, you get a reverse, and here's the safety, right? Safety's eyes are here. Watch the safety. His eyes are there. He's coming. He sees rocket. Now he redirects. He sees reverse. There's the other safety. Both of them are eyes inside. And we're able to go here. When we run rocket this way, our B-back is just coming and filling off the opposite side anyway. So what we're able to do is we're able to take that B-back and fill him and then run him on a little wheel. So we get the rocket, we get safeties, their eyes are inside, they're coming down, step, waiting for it. They see reverse, they start coming up, and we're able to get the fullback behind him. Again, trying to find ways to manufacture points. This is one of the best offensive games we played. We ran a ton of influence stuff. We ran a lot of false pulls with the guards. We ran some trick plays. But it's just about trying to find a way to score points at that point. So this is back to, I think this is probably the last one I've got. And so you see here, we've got X over. So this is our tight end here. And so what we're going to get here is we're going to get rocket motion this way. We're going to get our fullback, I believe, coming back. Yeah, fullback's going to go opposite. So he's coming here. Fullback's coming here. We got this wing coming around. And what I really want you to see here, so they got a corner matched up here, right? They got a corner matched up with our receiver. We felt really confident that he could win the one-on-one, but instead of just always sending him vertical, we had to find a way to get him the ball deep without just without running a 99 or whatever you want to call it. So what I want you to watch is as we get this, so you get this motion going here, you get this fullback going here, you get this wing coming around here. Watch this safety here, this free safety who's playing the middle of the field. Watch his eyes and watch what he's looking at, and then watch what we're able to get to behind him. One thing this does is all this little motion here and fake handoffs here, it's going to slow down a pass rush. So if you look, we get the motion here. We're faking rocket. We're just base blocking up front. We get a little counter action right there. And if you look at the safety, he's hop-stepped a few times, but his eyes are back here. He's watching the motion going to his left. He's watching the counter coming to his right. And what you're able to see is we're able to get that safety right over the top of him, or the X on a post right over the top of him. And again, it's just about motion one way, counter action the other. All you're doing is protect. We protected up front on this play with 9 guys. We had 9 blockers up front. It's a one-man route. And we're able to get all this different stuff. But because of it, quarterback doesn't really set his feet very well, but he's got a pretty strong arm, so he's able to do all this stuff. He gets it, and he knows he's going to be able to put it right over the top of the safety, because that's a tough play for that corner. That corner starts head up. You start head up on this kid, and he's going to run a post all the way into the middle of the field. That's going to be a tough route for that kid to defend. So again, here, a little eye candy, little this, little that, little counter action. You're able to get him. We don't even run counter. So this play, we never ran counter. It's just about getting guys going opposite directions. It gave us, again, the reason we did it is because it gave us 9 guys to protect. And I felt like this was 2018. We were 2-7. We needed that many guys to protect. It was our only shot. So you can see here my contact information again. Hopefully you guys are able to get something out of this. Please never hesitate. Call, text, email. My cell phone number is there. My email address is there. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you ever have questions, don't hesitate. I'll probably learn more from you than you'll ever learn from me. So just talking ball is always good. I want to thank Nate, Chief Pigskin, for having me here today. It's always a lot of fun. Again, I think that for coaches out there, if you ever have an opportunity, my advice is present. Doesn't matter if it's going to be 10 minutes long or a 3-hour presentation. Present. It's going to force you to assess what you're doing, what has been working, what hasn't been working. And I think this is probably one of the best off-season practices for me as a coach, is being able to go through and say, okay, this is what we did last year. And then what worked, what didn't work. Hey, what did I do a couple years ago? Go back and look at film from 3-4 years ago and go, man, we were doing that and it was giving people fits. We should try that again and figure out a way to work it all in. So again, I appreciate it. Hope you guys get something out of it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I can see already on here that my cell phone number is wrong. So I just noticed that. So let me try to fix this. Sorry about that. The number is 618-791-3155 and then 8. So cell phone number is 618-791-3158, not 9. Feel free to call, text anytime. Like I said, I love talking football. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you ever have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.